So hey, that's kind of fitting. United Southern Bank is giving away a $250 Kentucky State Parks gift card to one lucky winner. All you gotta do is hop on WPKYonline.com. Click on Contests under the Community tab. Winner drawn at 4 p.m. March 8th.
Grab your cup and settle in. It's time for Coffee Talk with Tess, filled to the brim with stories, guests, and information that affects us all right here at home. Have a question for one of our guests? Email Tess at WPKYonline@gmail.com. Now, let's go live to the WPKY studios and see who dropped by this morning.
Oh, I have got a room full of pretty ladies. That's what I've got. Our Caldwell County FFA is in the house again this morning. Of course, it's FFA week. Our Caldwell County High School FFA is in the studio all week with us this week for Coffee Talk. And I'm so excited about this because we really have a whole list of ladies in our community that have not only gone through our Caldwell County High School and really just blown it out of the water with everything that they've accomplished there. They've gone on to school and done the same thing, and then they return back to the community and really invest a lot of time and effort back into the community with what they've learned. And that's kind of the theme this morning. Not only do I have some really talented ladies here that are FFA members now in the studio with me now, but later on, my special guest this morning, I already let the cat out of the bag earlier. I didn't say who it was. But she is a lady that not only, and I won't say necessarily right here, but I will say locally went through FFA, also was very FFA-minded and really involved throughout college, and then returned to the community to put it right back into the community. So I'm really excited for her to be here. So she's going to be our special guest this morning, Miss Jenny Frank. So she's going to be with us this morning. So we're really excited about it, so don't go anywhere. It's FFA week if you got on your blue and gold.
Is that the doorbell?
Hey, come on
We'll be back in just a few minutes and see who's at the door. Coffee Talk on 1580 103.3 WPKY. The WPKY News Edge is committed to keep you informed. Each weekday, they'll email you the top news and sports story of the day for free. No subscription fee. To sign up, click on the news tab at WPKYonline.com to sign up today. Sign up and receive these information updates for free to your email inbox. To sign up, click on the news tab at WPKYonline.com.
For a delicious meal, try Kay's Kitchen in Princeton. They have great home cooking, just like Mom and Grandma used to do. Enjoy cook-to-order breakfast every day, all day. Daily lunch specials include favorites like open-faced roast beef, grilled chicken tenderloins, country fried steak, smoked pork chops, and catfish and shrimp on Fridays. All your favorite veggies, too. And don't forget Kay's homemade desserts. Open Monday through Thursday, 5 to 2, Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, 5:30 to 11. Kay's Kitchen, 501 North Jefferson Street, Princeton, 1 block from the courthouse.
Good morning.
Grab your cup, pull up a chair. There's always room at our table. Coffee Talk with Tess on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Oh, here we are. It's sunshiny day. I think the girls brought it in. That's what I think. It's FFA week, all week long for WPKY. We're so excited about that. We enjoyed the heck out of the kickoff, I guess I should say. That was yesterday. But today, we have Miss Kylie York and Catherine Eldridge and Sarah Edwards with us today. So good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'll tell you, doesn't that sound good? That's like harmony right there. Which is kind of what they teach you in FFA. In a way, you got to work as a team. So that kind of, in a way, that's kind of harmony. But I guess I'll start at the very end over here with Kylie York. And, of course, I had a York in here yesterday, Mr. Wes York. Now, you're acquainted with that man, right?
Actually, I am. Sometimes it's a sad point of view, but yes, I'm his youngest daughter.
Bless your heart. I'll tell you, you're not very little. You're all grown up pretty well. But what all do you do in FFA?
Well, my freshman year, my sister was the chapter president, so I knew as I was progressing through FFA that I wanted to live up to her standards and even, put up my point of view of leadership into the chapter. So I started out being the junior vice president for the chapter my freshman year, then moved up to a leadership committee chairman my sophomore year and my junior year, and now this year I am the chapter president. And this year I was blessed with the opportunity to become the Pennyroyal Region FFA Secretary. And the Pennyroyal Region is Caldwell and 9 other counties surrounding us. There are 6 officers from all different counties, and we have become the best of friends. And it's just definitely the best leadership team I've ever been on, and I'm so excited to continue that opportunity for the next few months.
I'll tell you, she's well-spoken, isn't she? Is that something that you always wanted to do, or, be the presidente? I mean, is that something that you
sure.
wanted to do?
Yes, that was always a goal of mine, and my junior year, I was able to become chapter president, and just from then on, I have grown, and I think I've been able to lead the chapter adequately, and I just want to continue doing that and showing the freshmen, what FFA means to me and all the opportunities that it brings you.
I'll tell you, she's a rock star. Yeah, I mean, you could come over here and just, I'll just sit down and listen. What got you to this point, do you think? What got Miss York to the point of, I'm not only a confident young lady, but I'm going to take on the world?
Well, my dad definitely helped. I was raised, me and my sister both, you can't be afraid of anything. You have to reach for your goals, strive for them, and accomplish them, and don't stop until you do get that goal achieved. And just learning about agriculture when I was a child, I knew that FFA was going to be a big part of my life. And, the start of high school, I was like, this is the first chapter, and I just have to keep flipping pages until I get where I want to be.
I'm going to tell you, I'm in awe of her, and I've been sitting here for, about 5 minutes? Don't get me wrong. I've gotten to meet, I've had another York lady in here not too long ago, and, man, I'll tell you, Wes York, good job, buddy.
He tries hard, and Miss Woods has also been a big part of my life. When I was actually a toddler, 3 or 4 years old, she was in high school. So I have the memory of her when she was, 18 years old, and now she gets to be my ag teacher. And she also, I'm pretty much following in her footsteps. She reminded me that she was also the regional secretary in high school, and she's given me that push to run for a state office just like she did. So she's always been a big part of my life, and she's helped me get a lot of leadership opportunities that I never would have dreamed I would have had.
You're going to get it. I don't know. You just look at her and say, yep. Okay, whatever you want to do, you're going to do it. Talk about another accomplished young lady, Catherine Eldridge, of course, chapter reporter. That's not easy. I mean, hello, you got the hard job, woman. How did you, why? That's what I want to know. Now, Catherine, tell us about FFA and what you do and why you're there and all that good stuff.
Well, I started out freshman year not really wanting to be in the spotlight, and then sophomore year, I started wanting to get in more active, and then I became a committee chairman my junior year. And then I was surprised when I got reporter. So
why'd that surprise you?
I was actually going for another committee chairman.
Oh, well, now I want to know what you were going for.
I was just going for any position that they would take me.
What is it about FFA? What is it about it that makes you want to serve?
I just love how they use the community, and we use any way to help. I'm also in 4-H, so I use both of them, and I like them both.
Miss Rhonda Jewell would be proud this morning, I bet you. You know what? I got a little note over here that talks about social media. Now, you've got something to do with social media, too?
Yes, we use social media to inform members on what's going on with our FFA chapter.
I need help in that direction. Heather, can we borrow her? Because I'm old, see, and I need to learn how to use things. But, that's huge, though, because that's something new, fairly new in the last few years, where, FFA needs to, turn a new corner and learn some new tricks. And it looks like that's exactly what's going on.
Of course, this year we haven't got to do much because of all the corona mess. So.
Well, you know what, though? That's when a lot of that social media and a lot of those alternate ways to kind of get your message out, that's when you become a really popular young lady, is what it is. So where do you want to go from here? Now, what grade are you in?
I'm a senior.
So if you're a senior, now what do you want to do with that the rest of the year? You got plans the rest of the year?
Just kind of trying to figure out what we can do for the last few months, what we're actually able to do.
Kind of think tank it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big word around here. Sarah Edwards is a student teacher from MSU. Murray State University has just got an amazing agriculture department. They just really do. And they embrace the FFA, and I love it. And I think that's a place that's really warm to a lot of our hearts. I think for a lot of us kids that have been alumni from FFA in Caldwell County have ended up taking a trip and touring that. I think that's one of the things we do. What is maybe a sophomore or something like that? Anyway, I think we all end up touring down there. So what is it about FFA for you now that you're in the college version?
Yeah, so actually, I'm from Southern Indiana originally.
Oh, we'll forgive you.
Yes, I know. I get made fun of all the time for it. But I grew up in the FFA program down there, super involved, both chapter and district level there. I knew that I never wanted to leave it, quite frankly. So I decided to pursue the agricultural education track, and with that, of course, comes the FFA program. And so I ended up at Murray State. I wasn't a huge fan of Purdue. Don't tell my family and friends in Indiana.
We won't tell anybody. We keep really good secrets around here.
Yes. So I just fell in love with Murray State. It had a lot of different things that it offered me in terms of my wants and needs, and of course financial help as well. So here I am, and I have loved every second of it.
Well, and to be perfectly honest, when you were in high school, did you hold office when you were in high school?
I did. Yes. When I was in high school, I was involved all 4 years, and I held chapter reporter, then moved up to vice president, then up to president my senior year. So super involved. I did things on our district level, which is the equivalent of regional here in Kentucky. Did all the proficiencies and the contests. Just a little bit different look in Indiana versus here.
Well, and don't get me, you've been sitting in the offices that these ladies hold. What did those offices do when you held them that prepared you for what you're doing now?
I can't even begin to tell you. Even starting on the reporter level, that helped me develop a lot of my writing abilities, which have set me up for in terms of college, in terms of classes, but also scholarships and things like that I'm super thankful for. It made me a very great communicator in terms of writing and speaking, and the level of leadership I was involved in both my junior and senior year of high school, I can't even begin to think how much they've impacted me. I mean, interview skills, speaking skills, the ability to, get out of your comfort zone. There's a list a mile long, quite frankly.
What has been your pet project over the years? And don't get me wrong, I know in FFA, I'm going to tell you what, I have never met anybody that's been in FFA that only is interested in one little area. Because little Hannah, when she was in here yesterday, she looked at us and I said, what do you want to do in FFA when you get older? She said, everything. And I think that's kind of the way we all are, because you can't just focus on one thing, especially if you're trying to run any type of business in agriculture. You got to be good at a lot of different things. But is there one area that just, man, it trips your trigger?
It originally in high school was the equine industry for me. I grew up showing horses. But one thing I really took a major liking to once I hit college, I had the chance to become the Murray State University beekeeper. And I've learned about taking care of honeybees and beekeeping, and I've met a lot of really awesome people through that. That has probably been my favorite project thus far in college. You and I need to continue to talk, because that's a huge topic this year. So you've become a very popular young lady in your field, I bet you. Because, even the honeybees and the pollination and the murder hornets that are coming in killing our honeybees, if it's not one thing, it's another, it seems like. But, from pesticides to murder hornets, I mean, there is a conservation of honeybees going on. And that's where somebody like you comes in. So I think that's an interesting topic that most people probably don't even think about. You'd be right. Yeah, a lot of people really have no idea. I, quite frankly, didn't have any idea when I started, but I've learned a great deal from that, and it's something I'm super passionate about now. Okay, ladies, what does it mean to have, she's a wealth of, I would like to sit in and have her as my student teacher. I'm just saying. But what does it mean when you've got somebody like that? Is that why FFA, you're passionate about that? Is that the reason why a lot of you really stick with it and want to, you're inspired to go on and do more things?
Yes, a lot of the Caldwell County graduates that, when we were freshmen, we saw these people, they're like, I'm going to Murray and I'm majoring in ag ed. Well, then now they're becoming teachers, and we get to see, Miss Edwards and our past student teachers, how much they love to talk about Murray and all their memories that they've made. And it just it just makes you want to do that also. And I mean, me and Catherine have had a student teacher every
year,
every semester of every year. I think there was like one semester we didn't have one, and they are all so different, but they teach you so much, and it's crazy. They're fresh out of college, and you're getting that much knowledge out of a young person, and you're able to look up to them seriously as a leader and somebody you want to strive to be like.
Mr. York was talking about that yesterday, and how fortunate we are to have those student teachers that come in and sit and not only, they've got a lot to teach you even as a student, themselves. And so how long do you have left as being a student?
So I will finish out this semester, and I'll graduate in May, and I'll be done with my bachelor's. So just finishing out my student teaching experience here at Caldwell. And after that, I don't really know where I'm going, but we'll definitely figure it out.
Well, we're excited that you're here. Absolutely, Catherine. What do you think about the student teachers? What does that do for you?
The student teachers are really inspiring. I follow them as they go. Like, I add them on social media, and I get to watch them as they grow as teachers. And I actually have 2 of them on my Facebook, and I get to see them with all what they're doing this week with their kids.
Now, see how cool is that? Social networking right there at its best. And later on, we all know that, especially if you're going to be a professional, that networking can mean absolutely everything. So if Catherine gets this huge hive and she said, I don't know what to do with it. Oh, I know who we're calling. And she says, no problem. I'll be right there, right? So where do we go from here next year? What's up? What is up with Kylie York for next year? So once we graduate, where are we going?
Well, I'm going to Murray, majoring in ag business. I'm so excited to be at Murray. My sister majored in ag business, and she added the horticultural point of view, but I personally am going to be adding sales and marketing. That's something I'm very, very passionate about. I love being in sales. I love talking to people, going and networking in different cities, meeting new people. I love new conversations with new people because you never know what you're going to get into. Boy,
you're going to love this lady that's coming in here in just a little bit. Just wait. Well, she's going to be a good mentor for you.
So, yes, I'm very excited to be at Murray. I will be living off campus in a house with a roommate. She's from here, actually. We've been friends for a long time, and I know I'll be involved with the CFFA there, and I'm just really excited to get there and, expand my knowledge on agriculture.
You wanting to come back to be a mentor?
Maybe.
For Caldwell County, you think?
Maybe.
Okay. All right. Catherine Eldridge, what do you think, girl?
I'm actually going to go to Madisonville Community College for a couple years, just until the universities get everything figured out with all this new stuff that's going to be happening. And then I'm actually going to transfer to Murray after my 2 years. And I'm going to either go into business management or early childhood education. So
I'm going to tell you what, that's some pretty big stuff. And that's but it doesn't seem like it's that big of goals. It seems like, yeah, I could do that, but in 2 months' time, 30 days, I'll be right there. It doesn't seem like you're shooting for the stars. It seems like when you've got this kind of preparation and you've got this kind of support and mentorship, it just seems attainable, right?
Yes, exactly. And I definitely think this year specifically, especially the seniors, there's not an option but to just decide, and you have to run with it. Yes, you can change your major, but a lot of big decisions have to be made in a short amount of time. So, your only option is to strive for what you want. So that's what we're trying to do. That's what other seniors are trying to do, and we definitely need all the support we can get.
So do you think, I heard a lot about parliamentary procedure yesterday.
Oh, yes.
So where is all of that coming from? We'll ask the president. I asked the Peaks that yesterday.
Yeah.
And I told them that they really enjoyed parliamentary procedure. And I was like, for you to enjoy that, that's pretty strict, so that's a lot to learn. Where's the fun come in that?
The competitiveness. I kid you not.
That's my word there, girl. Now I understand that.
We take it very seriously, and it is kind of crazy that we get to have fun with it, but we really do. It's like you get to have to make up these debates real quick, in 30 seconds, and boom, you're running with it. And Caldwell County has always been very competitive at speaking competitions and our regional speaking day, and that's where we do poorly. And we were on a 10-year streak of first place, and I believe it was my freshman year, we participated at the state level in parliamentary procedure and got second place, which was a very big deal.
Yeah.
And then, it's just what we do. Parley is what we do, and we love it. We have a set team. Our freshmen, well, they were freshmen last year. Now they're sophomores. They are absolutely rock stars at Parley. They love the competition for sure. And, it's like we're competing with each other at the same time as long as, with other counties.
Right.
Like you see your friends from a different county and you're like, oh, it's on now.
See, I love
it's
that.
Parley time. We're ready.
Throw a little argumentative kind of in there, and then we
Yes.
got competition. Yeah, girl, I'm in. I think but again, you're meeting people and you make those relationships. In agriculture, those relationships mean everything later on. So what is the one thing, Miss Catherine, the one thing that you can take away from FFA, that you can look at a freshman when they're coming in and they're like, I don't live on a farm. Why should I be? Why? What is my mojo? What's the one thing that you could tell them?
It's not about living on a farm. It's about growing in your leadership skills and growing in the person who you are. They help you become. I didn't used to be a talkative person. I would have never done this my freshman year, and I'm actually surprised I'm doing it now. But I didn't see myself doing anything with being an officer or anything my freshman year, and it's really helped me grow in my leadership and just my skills. So,
got any shout outs you want to make while you're here?
Miss
Any
Woods
thank
and
yous?
Mr. York.
What have they
pushed
done?
me to be this person. So
That's amazing. All right, Miss Kylie York. What do we think? What's the one thing, if you're looking at a freshman that's not got the last name of York, what? Because I think it's part of who you all
It
are.
is,
It's
for
part of
sure.
your DNA. But, what about that kid that didn't grow up in the middle of it? What's in it for them? What do you tell them?
Do it all. Once you participate in that first thing, you're set. You're like, that first thing, they're nervous going into it. And after it's over, they're like, I really like this. And then that's where it starts. And you never want to leave. You want to do everything, every activity, whether it be fun or competition. And watching younger kids, the freshmen, watching their first speech they give in class and learning about parliamentary procedure in class and FFA history, they're like, well, maybe this will be fun. And then, now they're holding committee chairman offices and they're going to be running for a chapter office next year. Just that one freshman that confides in you, be their person, be their encourager, and support them. I remember all the pep talks I gave to freshmen last year before Corona hit when we were doing competitions in person. And, hearing their name being called as they won their first place speech, it's just an awesome feeling to watch them light up with excitement, like, I really did this. And then they just want to keep advancing in their leadership and become more involved in FFA.
I'll tell you, I told him yesterday, I said, when I hit my freshman, I found my peeps. And I was like, here's where I belong. So is that what it was for you? What could you tell freshmen that, as a mentor now, and now you've pretty well gone through college as well, learning, what's it like for you? What would you tell that freshman?
Basically what they've already said, just go for it. It is super nerve-wracking to first jump into it because it's a bunch of people and everyone's super close-knit and you're like, do I even really fit in here? And you get in and you get hooked, and I promise that. And I had the same exact experience when I was a freshman, and I can guarantee that was the most life-changing moment of my life. And so I grew up, I don't think I missed an FFA event since the middle of my freshman year of high school. And
Didn't want to, did you?
No, I didn't. And it was just super empowering as a person. I learned a lot. It was competitive. It just hit all the check marks for me, and I wouldn't have changed anything about it, quite frankly.
Well, you got any shout-outs for while you're still here in Caldwell before you leave us?
I'm going to call out my mom and dad, but they, of course, live in Indiana. But that's just because...
That's okay. We're worldwide.
Yes, there we go. Perfect. Just because they are the ones who've supported me the whole way through it.
Bless your heart. I'll tell you, we couldn't have it later on in ag. Ag could not be successful without ladies just like you. And you guys are rock stars. Thank you so much for being here. Of course, Miss Kylie York, hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
For a really successful, I would think, presidency over what has probably been a really unique year. You need to sit down and write an FFA memoir. All of you do later on. Like what in the world do you do in the middle of a pandemic? To keep up. So I think that's pretty cool. So Miss Kylie York and Catherine Eldridge and Sarah Edwards, thank you so much for being here this week and supporting and getting in the middle of FFA week with us, because I think it's a good thing for kids that are going into school to thinking about it next year, to kind of be thinking about it and say, you know what, get involved and get in the middle of it. And again, I'm going to quote that little girl all week long. When you look at the little girl that's 10 years old and you say, what do you want to do in FFA? And they say everything. I think that is the best. You guys are doing your job, I think, as ambassadors, to have a little girl like that wants to do everything. So thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Grab your refill and hurry back. We'll find out who else decided to drop by next.
Hey, good morning.
It's a beautiful morning.
On Coffee Talk on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
You know what they say. If you don't like Kentucky weather, stick around a minute. It'll change. Pennyrile Electric is prepared in any type of weather to help you keep your power on and your family warm. Winter weather can mean high winds, snow, and ice, all of which create the possibility for downed trees and power lines. Your friends at Pennyrile Electric suggest keeping a cell phone and charger, a radio, flashlight, and some batteries on hand, and a full or full-ish tank of gas. And keep the faith. Pennyrile Electric will be there when you need them the most.
Finding convenient, quality health care close to home just got easier. That's because Caldwell Medical Associates Family Practice Clinic in Fredonia has expanded its team of family medicine providers in order to give your family even more access to expert care. Trust the team at Caldwell Medical Associates. To schedule an appointment, call 272-545-3386 or visit caldwellmedical.com.
This is Casey McCoy, and I'm a mortgage loan processor at Farmers Bank. One of my favorite things about our home loan process is that you can apply online whenever it's convenient for you. By applying online, your information is sent directly to our lenders. It's quick and easy and a good way to jumpstart your loan. Apply today at yournxtbank.com. Farmers Bank and Trust Company, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Congratulations to all winners of Best of Western Kentucky.
Asian, Mikado Japanese Steakhouse, Bakery Desserts, Joelle's Bakery and Cafe, Barbecue, The Barbecue Shack, Breakfast, Cracker Barrel, Old Country Store, Buffet, Katie's Family Restaurant, Burgers, Davo's Burgers and